My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for High-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at High-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. High-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we return to Sydney Dragway out at Eastern Creek for our continued coverage of the Santo Summer Thunder as part of the 400 Thunder Drag Racing Series. This week, it's the turn of the Pro Slammers to step up in front of a parochial Sydney crowd. Then we head to Europe and to Methamus in southern France for the penultimate round of the 2018 FIM Enduro GP World Championship. And later in the show, we take a trip across the English Channel and head to Cadwell Park for round 8 of the 2018 British Sidecar Championship. This is Speedweek.
It's cleared. Oh, it's cleared, all right. We know nothing. It is John Zappia streaking away. He gets the win at the opening round of the season.
Wheel stand again for Lyle, but big problems for Sam Fenck. Lyle 583, 404. Big wheel stand at half track for the Camaro of Ham, and it'll be a 573. One parachute out, man, he is going fast, Paul Hyatt. Welcome to Sydney Dragway. We're here for the Santo Summer Thunder and the weather's living up to its name. It's been very hot here, as hot as the action's going to be, because today we're looking at Pro Slammer. 3,000 plus horsepower, all wrapped into sedan bodies, and we have been experiencing one of the most competitive seasons in this category that we've had for a long, long time. Mark, just how tough has it been?
Well, in my opinion, this season of Pro Slammer is probably one of the most diverse we've ever seen for the bracket. We've had 3 events, 3 different winners, 3 different championship leaders heading into this event. Zappia won the first one at Nitro up north. Then Kelvin Lyle got his first ever event victory in Pro Slammer at the East Coast Thunder event. He took the championship lead. Paul Hyatt, defending champion, got his first taste of victory at the last round of the New Year Thunder. He comes into this event as the championship leader, but snapping at the heels, Sam Fenck has been going very, very strong so far.
Well, one of the surprises in pre-event testing coming into the Santo Summer Thunder is this man, Sam Fenck. Currently low ET of testing, 566, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rusty. It's been coming. We've been working on this car, as you know, for probably 3 months now, and we fought us in Willowbank, but we're down here, and we had a bit of testing on Tuesday. The heat, very difficult. Track stood up to it. We're doing very well. The Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions Camaro is flying, mate, and we can't wait for round 1.
Top 4 in the points at the moment, and you've got a good chance to move forward with the way this car's performing this weekend.
Yeah, look, anytime we can move forward 1 spot would be great. Couple, 2, 3 would be awesome. You know, we can leave here number 2 or 3 would be over the moon.
Now, we know testing's one thing. The shakedown is, I guess, no pressure. But when you get to the first round of racing, it all changes. How are you approaching that first round of racing?
Same as any other run, mate. Doesn't matter who's in the other lane. We'll hold it flat and run it all the way to the finish line.
Let's have a look at those championship points. Through consistency and his win at the last round, Paul Hyatt is on top on 257. John Zappia 218. Kelvin Lyle 217, but we won't see him here this weekend. Crashed his car at Willowbank. Sam Fenck, there he is on 214. Emilio Spinosi, man, he is up there punching above his weight. Hasn't been able to win an event, but guess what? He is still there in the points.
We move here into round one of Pro Slammer. It's going to be father versus son. How about this for a first round matchup? Victor Bray to take on Benny Bray.
The two Gulf Western Oil teammates going head to head. Great to see Victor back in action in the 57 Chevy, and you have to say that Ben Bray has been threatening in this Corvette for a while. He's a guy that can step up and win an event before too long.
Well, that's it. They're starting to get on top of their setup, and I was chatting to Benny before this round of racing, and he was actually talking about Victor's chances. Like, incrementals-wise, that car of Victor's has been just as quick as Benny's, but it's just about getting it to the finish line. So I'd give Victor a real shot here.
Yeah, they're running all the latest gear that they had bolted into the Frankie Taylor Corvette last season. And Victor, he's getting more and more comfortable in the car every single pass. As you say, he's been extremely quick through to a half track and 1,000 foot. And Ben knows that Dad's one that could whip his bum here.
Well, that's it. We know all that gear in Victor's car went 570 with Frank Taylor. So it's just about applying all that horsepower through the chassis of the 57 Chevy here. And tell you what, they could have a real quick race car. The other thing in Victor's hand at the moment is he's been cutting some absolutely killer reaction times. He has been as sharp as ever in this car. And Benny, you know, you don't want to be slow in the tree because the old Victor of the other lane there, he could put one on him.
Well, it's been extremely hot here at Sydney Dragway. Testing yesterday was 40 plus degrees. Fortunately, today is a bit cooler. The crowd, though, is still hanging under the shade that's available, that is for sure. Pro Slammer getting underway with round one. It's the 3-round all-run system, so we'll see all of these drivers out for 3 runs. The top 2 point scorers go to the final. Ben is in with a handful here. Victor's in front of him until almost the finish line. Victor had the whole shot. Victor had the lead at half track, and I thought he was going to run away with it.
I thought he had it, but Benny Bray goes 578. That is a great pass for the team for the win. Victor goes 591 in the lane beside him. Looked like he might have rolled off the throttle a little bit early there across the finish line, but Benny Bray gets a win here, gets the 20 points. The crew are happy with that 578.
Oh, they're just delighted to see Victor competitive again in the Gulf Western Oil 57 Chevy. Hiked the front wheels, carried him a long way out, and definitely in front at half-track mark.
He was, and you could just see the butterflies close there just before the end of the finish line, so he was off a bit early. That was a 580 pass for Victor if he stays on, and what could have been.
Well, let's ride along with Victor Bray here, and I'm sure that the entire Bray team won't be too disappointed.
Absolutely, guys. Down here with Brett from Benny Bray's crew. It's always fun when you get to whip up on the old man, mate.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, he's still the legend in the sport. There's no one else. We've been struggling a little bit with a miss today, so that 78's promising. So let's just see what we can come with the next round.
Great news. Go back and get it ready, mate.
Thanks, guys.
There's Stephen Ham at work in the office, moving forward with the Fuso Camaro. He's going to be taking on Emilio Spinosi, but Matt Kavanagh, he's got a very happy Ben Bray in the braking area.
Yeah, we're here with Benny Bray, 578. How does that feel, mate, to get that 70 here at Sydney?
No, it's good. The Gulf Western Oils Corvette, it's back to where it should be. I've been letting them down over the last couple of races. Been chasing a gremlin in the electronics. Hopefully I found it. The 88, it was still on 6 cylinders for half the pass, so I knew as soon as it got a clean pass, it's a low 70 car, so hopefully that puts me in the range where I need to be so I can catch Ham.
Good luck in round 2.
Thank you.
Everybody's talking about Stephen Ham. He's been very quick with that Camaro.
Yeah, he went one of the quickest passes we've seen in testing in that 570 zone, and it has cooled off from that test pass earlier today, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Stephen Ham drop into the 560s here. And that's what Emilio Spinosi's got to be thinking about. This team is still looking for that first 5-second pass out of this Speedmaster Chevelle. And you know what? 560s from Ham, that's a big leap for these guys, so let's see what they've got.
And of course, what we've seen is Spinosi. He's picked up a lot of round wins. by virtue of just getting from A to B, not particularly fast, but the guy in the other lane has had problems time and time again. And he's got to hope that the Fuso Brisbane Camaro does just that.
Yeah, that's it. That's their strong point for this team. They have been getting to the finish line under power and taking those chances when they've come across them.
Stephen Ham all the way. A couple of wheel stands in the process. 5.70, 409 kilometres an hour. Beat Spinosi 6.12.
We're on board with Stephen Ham. You can see his finger on the trans brake there. Let's go on the button. He's got an auto in this car, so he doesn't need to shift up on the parachute lever. Brings his car to a slow from 409 kilometres per hour. That was 5.70 seconds with Stephen Ham.
Didn't quite sneak into his 560s that he wanted, but he's got 20 win points and a very quick ET, the quickest so far. So I think crew chief Stuart Rowland should be reasonably comfortable with that performance.
Yeah, the best way I can describe Steve Ham at the moment is has car, can drive. Stuart Rowland, he is on a tear at the moment, 5.700. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah, basically that was just the last one repeated, so put a bit of weight in the front, try and calm it down, a bit more for the next one.
Still came up though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the lock-up kicking in. It's kicking in early and trying to get after it, but can't sort it there yet.
Two more runs tonight, mate, so good luck for the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
They come at us thick and fast in Pro Slammer. There is the Lloyd's Classic car auction car of Sam Fenck burning out, but Matt Kavanagh's got Steve Ham.
Yeah, I'm here with a delighted Stephen Ham, 5.70 and a round one win.
That's what we needed. We just needed really to repeat what we had earlier and not overstep the mark like we did last time here in Sydney against the same car. So tried to keep it conservative and tame the wheel stand down a little bit and just go A to B, and hopefully the weather comes in later and pop into the 60s.
Well, good luck in round two.
Thank you.
That's ominous for the field when he says a 5.700 is conservative.
That's it. On track though, Sam Fenck in testing went 5.66 seconds. He's half a tenth ahead of the field at the moment on that test pass, and it has cooled down here. So Mark Hinchelwood for Fabiati Racing. These guys have got a tough race here.
Yeah, the AC Delco Monaro is certainly a quick car, but 66 in the lane beside him, that is going to be a reasonably steep hill to climb.
You see Fenck rolling forward. Hinchelwood now joining him there on the start line. We're on board with Sam Fenck. You can see his finger there over on the steering wheel. Got the button there, the trans brake.
Look at the concentration on his face. He is staring at that Christmas tree. You can't lose 1,000th there. Very close at half track. Hinchelwood, smoke out of the car. I thought he had that. And something's gone away in the engine, and Fenck has driven around him.
He's got a bracket car. Sam Fenck goes 5.66 again. That's the low ET of the round so far. Takes maximum points from this race, but Mark Hinchelwood, he was right beside. He had 400s on the tree. He was only 400 slow at a half track, and then something went away in the engine there, and that's the death sign, that smoke coming out the side. Oh, I don't like that sign at all.
Man, he had that shot to bits, but in the end, a win's a win, and Sam Fenck has been doing just that, Rusty.
Another 5.60 there for Sam Fenck. I'm out here with Mark Savage, crew chief. Now, we've got an opportunity here because we're just checking the racetrack in Mark Hinchelwood's lane. You just walked out and had a look at the tyre tracks out here. Exactly what are you looking for when you're examining what the car did?
Just to see what the tyre did, if it shook a little bit out there, quivered a little bit out there, and just thinking of what we're going to run for next round.
Looked like it was fairly smooth out there, 5.66 with a 6. Got to be happy with that. This car has really turned around in the last 24 hours.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thrilled. All these guys have been working so hard on this car, and we've struggled for a little bit with issues, and it's starting to pay off. I feel good about it.
Keep your eye on the Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions team because they are moving up the points this weekend, guaranteed.
Yeah, we're going to try our best. Thanks, guys.
You're just going fantastic at the moment, aren't you? 5.66 this afternoon. You back it up right now with another 5.66.
Yeah, this Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions Camaro's flying, bro. I've lost my breath, actually. Mark Savage is killing it today. Awesome on the tune-up. The boys are working really hard. We're a great team. We work really hard, and we're doing it for the sponsors today.
Well, hopefully we see you back in the winner's circle in round two.
That'd be awesome, mate. Thank you very much.
Back to you, Rob.
Here comes the man, John Zappia for Fuchs in the Monaro from Western Australia, and he's going to be taking on Michelle Davies in the Mustang. And Michelle has certainly now stepped up the performances in this Pro Logistics car.
Well, she is now the quickest female driver in Australia for a Pro Slammer, running into that 5-second zone. But she is taking on John Zappia. Zappia second in the championship here, so he doesn't want to let Hyatt streak away at all. So he's got to get wins where he can. The last round at Willowbank Raceway at the New Year Thunder, this thing was anything but smooth. It was a wild car. It was wheel standing. It was shaking across the centre line. This thing was just an absolute animal. Let's see how he goes here in round one against Michelle Davies.
Well, there's no question Zappia's got more horsepower than Michelle, but that doesn't always do it for you. It's got to be the whole balance. That is the trick. And of course, in this 400 Thunder all-run 3-round system, it is very important to get quick times, not only wins, because in each of the first 2 rounds of racing, there are bonus points for the best ETs, 8 for the quickest, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the 8th fastest time. And after 2 rounds of racing, the 2 drivers with the most points go through to the championship final, and they race for the trophy.
Well, low ET at the moment, still Fenck with that 566. Oh, big hole shot for Davies. It's all Zappia though, 579, 403 kilometres per hour. Wasn't a perfect pass for the team, but they're into the 570 zone. They get the win, pick up 20 points, and possibly some bonus points as well.
Well, Michelle Davies, as you said, had a lovely hole shot here, but got loose. She's had to get on and off the throttle. That let Zappia past, and it was put down the glasses. It was all one-way traffic, and the man of Pro Slammer just picks up another round win.
Yeah, well, Davies actually extended her lead to 60 foot. She was actually 300s quicker than Zappia to 60 foot, but then Zappia came home very strong.
Have a look at this, riding along with John Zappia. That was the lead that Davies had, but it will be a Zap win.
Yeah, 579 down here with Richard Zappia. Mate, maybe a little bit on the conservative side when you see what we saw from Steve Ham with that 70 flat.
Yeah, we toned it down a bit from the previous run with a big wheel stand, and we thought we just want to do enough, get through, and then we can readjust for the next one.
There is no easy rounds in Slammer these days, is there? Every single car can come out here and win races.
Yeah, that's right. There's 4 to probably 6 cars that all can win a meeting, and it's got really tight.
I love the smile on your face when you say that, mate. Good job, and we'll see you in the second round.
Yeah, John's very satisfied, and you continue fighting the championship. Another round win.
Yeah, no, that's good. The Fuchs Danani Monaro ran okay, but it left well, but it had a bit of a misfire through the gears, and I was going, just hang on there and make it to the end. So that's why the performance wasn't there. Other than that, it was a flawless run. So hopefully we can fix it for the next one and get back to where it needs to be in the 60s.
Look forward to seeing you in round 2.
Thank you.
Well, there's Jeff Grattan in the Sigma rolling stock Chrysler, and he is up against Paul Hyatt, the defending champion for Moitz in the Mack Mustang. And you've got to say, for John Zappia, it's a bit of a worry. He's already got 2 guys quicker than him in this round, so at best he can take 6 bonus points, and Paul Hyatt's still to come.
Well, that's it. Paul Hyatt, if he can run quicker than that 579, get the win here, gets more points on John Zappia in that championship, and that's the end goal for these guys here, defending that 400 Thunder Pro Slammer Championship. You cannot take Jeff Grattan lightly at all. These guys run to the 580 zone, knocking on the door of 570s, so you got to be strong on this run. You can't be conservative at all with Paul Hyatt.
Well, you can't, because not only do you need to win against Grattan, but realistically, you want to be in the top 2 in each round if you've got your eyes focused on that championship final later on this evening. So he has to run quicker than at least Ham's 5.700 to be getting in that top 2 from this round of racing. Well, Grattan with a hole shot.
Yeah, but he's actually gone red on the tree, handing the win to Paul Hyatt. Hyatt goes 573, so that's the 3rd quickest pass of this session, 410 kilometres per hour. Grattan goes 584 in the lane beside him, but it was all Hyatt.
Indeed it is, down here with Skip from the Moitz crew, mate. Didn't pick up all the bonus points that time around, but you grabbed some and you grabbed more than Zap.
Yeah, we did, mate. Listen, we've changed a lot of parts in the car in the last week. We've got a new rear end housing in the car, so
we're trying to, realign the car. We did a lot of testing to get on top of it, but the temperature got better of us, and we had a few hot days, so we're not really where we needed to be. The car's obviously still a bit loose, but a win's a win. We're through to the next round. So.
Go get your driver, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, we got Paul Moy here, round 1 win, 3rd fastest in our points there for the low ET.
Yeah, we struggled a little bit in testing, but I backed the car down a little bit to make sure we went down against Jeff, and I certainly had to drive it. We got to the other end, I went 73, so happy days. On to round 2.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Moitz, Mac, Komatsu, BAC Systems, everybody that makes this happen. I appreciate it. High-Tech Oils too.
Got them all in there. And have a look at the points from round 1. Sam Fenck, he grabs the most, 28. Stephen Ham, 27. Paul Hyatt, 26. Ben Bray, 25. John Zappia's right back in 5th with 24 points. Now, Hyatt would have been concentrating on Zappia, but all of a sudden he's got Fenck and Ham to keep an eye on, because the defending champ, he's got work to do if he's going to make the final.
Well, it's all wide open here at the Santo Summer Thunder for Pro Slammer. Come back after the break and we'll see who can make that final.
In the USA, they call them Pro Mods. Here in Australian 400 Thunder drag racing, they're Pro Slammers. The rules and names may change from country to country a little, but what we're talking about are the fastest accelerating sedans in the world. John Zappia holds the Australian record at 5.60 seconds set here at Sydney Dragway, while the reigning champion Paul Hyatt claimed the speed record at an amazing 419 kilometres an hour in a run at Perth Motorplex in March of last year. That's a huge speed to reach from a standing start in just 400 metres. So what would it take for you to have one of these wild machines that almost defy physics? You start with a very strong chromoly steel chassis and integral roll cage that may cost anywhere up to $40,000. That's then wrapped in a lightweight carbon fibre or fiberglass replica of the sedan body of your choice. The classic muscle car shapes like Ford Mustangs, 1950 Chevys and swoopy Corvettes are definitely the most popular choices. That's another $20,000 or so. Suspension components including high-tech shock absorbers and a supply of super lightweight wheels and tyres just added about another $50,000 or more to your bill. Big power comes from a big engine, a very specialised V8 motor of anything up to 9 litres. The engine block and heads are machined out of solid lumps of high-grade aluminium. The motor is topped with a big supercharger and fuel injection to force air and methyl alcohol fuel into the cylinders, where over 3,000 horsepower is produced. Top to bottom, you won't get any change out of $130,000. And you better have 2 engines. You'll need a spare when the first one breaks. Behind the motor is where it starts to get tricky. Not so long ago, everyone ran a similar transmission setup with a clutch and 3-speed planetary gearbox, like John Zappia used to set his record time. Then people started experimenting by replacing the clutch with a torque converter like you find in an automatic transmission, and they started going fast. Next, people started to experiment with 5-speed transmissions, similar to what was in pro stock cars. And yes, they went quick too. Paul Hyatt used one to set the speed record and win the championship in his rookie year. However, at this stage, no one type of transmission is dominant across the Pro Slammer field. You'll find examples of all types. Depending on your choice, you just spend another $25,000 in your quest for speed. Okay, so now you've got the chassis, the body, the huge engine, and the transmission to send all of that power back to the rear wheels. But with over 3,000 ponies involved, you need a really special sort of differential to get that to the tyres. Have a look at this monster. Inside that massive housing is a very expensive crown wheel and pinion gear set and diff setter. The complete setup from wheel nuts through to wheel nuts, including the tail shaft, is going to set you back $30,000. Now all you need is a fuel cell, a data logging computer, safety gear, spares, fuel, lots of fuel, and of course all the tools and equipment. We'll just add in another $100,000. Let's see what we've spent to drive a car for 5 seconds. Try $525,000. Would you like an American crew chief with that? How about a transporter?
Well, that was really intriguing. I know, thinking about it, if I had the budget to be able to go pro slammer racing, I don't know which path or avenue I would take when you look at all the advantages and disadvantages from the different styles of setups that you can choose or go down there with pro slammer. And when you're speaking of money with Pro Slammer, one of the teams in first round, they had a bit of smoke, which is usually not a good sign. Mark Hinchelwood for the Fabiati Racing team there. Dramas in the first round. Rusty catches up with him in the pits.
Indeed there is. Drag racing is a hard old business because when you're the driver and you blow it up, the owner makes you fix it. Mark Hinchelwood, mate, some damage in that run in the first round of racing.
Yeah, well, look, we always knew Sam Fenck, #1 qualifier, it was going to be a tough round. So I tell you what, I drove the absolute balls off the AC Delco Pro Slammer. I gave it everything I had. I got him on the whole shot. I was at half track. I was kind of looking, he wasn't there, and I'm thinking, oh man, we might just have this one in the bag. And then, boom, he come through me. A little bit of puff of smoke. It's a bit of a sign normally that piston possible problem. Come back to the pits, and sure enough, we've done a piston. So the boys are thrashing right now. We're going to try and make the next round, but if we have to sit out, we'll definitely make the third run. So
that is the saving grace of the 400 Thunder all-run system. If they do miss round 2, they can still salvage some championship points in round 3. Now, a guy that's got a lot of work to do if he wants to make the championship final is, of course, John Zappia, because he was only the 5th quickest winner of that first round, and he's now currently about to race the 4th quickest winner in Ben Bray for Gulf Western Oils. And it's a battle of the oils as, of course, Zappia runs for Fuchs Lubricants, as he has done for many years. Man, this should be a good race, Mark.
When you talk about rivalry, this is one of the biggest in Australian drag racing. Zappia versus Bray. These guys like to get one up on each other here. Zappia has definitely had the better of the wins in the past few seasons against Bray, so Benny would like to get one back here for the Gulf Western Oils team.
It is safe to say that they're not on each other's Christmas card list. They are very fierce competitors. Not much socialising goes on in the pits, and there's nobody each of them would rather be.
You see the crew guys there checking the wheelie bars on Zappia's car, making sure it's at the right height they want. But there's 2 different staging styles here between Zappia and Bray. Zappia will go into pre-stage, put his foot down on the clutch, bring the revs up, and then slowly slide that clutch out and edge into stage where Benny will go straight into full stage.
You notice Ben Bray had lane choice and he chose the left. That is Zappia's favourite side of the racetrack. And Bray makes it work for him.
Wow, look at that, 5.73 from Benny Bray. He gets the win there. Great reaction time as well, but the team are ecstatic on the start line there. That's a big win for the team. That's 2 from 2 for Benny, and that's a quick pass as well.
Ben Bray had that under control from the get-go. John Zappia loses a supercharger belt at about 1,000 foot, but the race was over by that point. Hey, he's pretty busy inside that car.
He is pretty busy inside the car. I was actually just about to say that. I thought I saw Zappia lose a belt across the finish line there. Let's have a look. Zappia, left side of screen. You can see some sparks out of the car as well. Loses the belt. And there's a bit of smoke too from Zappia.
Not having the meeting he'd like, but Ben Bray is on a blinder. The whole Bray team, they're punching it.
2 wins from 2 so far this weekend for Ben Bray, and a 5.73 puts you guys in a pretty good position for the final round. Brett, mate, I've never seen you so excited on the start line.
I think we got rid of the miss. That was awesome. The car dead straight down the middle, bit of a move at half, but man, that's awesome. And to get round Zapp, like they're a hard bunch of guys to get round. It's awesome. We've been struggling since Willowbank, and we nailed it. So just like to thank Gulf Western, Century Batteries, Lumix, NGK, all these sponsors on board. Let us do this and have some fun. That's awesome. He'll be happy. So let's see what third round brings.
Well, if you're excited, I reckon Ben Bray is going to be even more excited. He's at the top end of the racetrack with Matt Kavanagh.
Oh, Benny Bray was absolutely pumped when he came in. We see the arms going up. He was excited. 5.73, the win over your rival, John Zappia.
Oh, mate, I can't just call him my rival. Them other 9 guys up there, they're all too hard to beat nowadays, but taking anything down from John is nothing, mate. Like, I come out to run 5.72, 5.73. The old girl did its job. I feel I left on him. I'd say John had a little trouble because he come around with a bit of a smoke out, but hey, a win's a win. The Gulf Western Oils Corvette whooped a bit of butt, and Team Bray, here we come.
Well done around 2. Back to you guys in the commentary box.
Well, 2 wins and a 5.73 in that round. And I have to say, Mark, I think he's still got a job to make the championship final.
You're right. He's got one hand there on the final at the moment, but obviously there's a lot of cars behind him that have got wins in round 1. They were a little bit quicker than him, but that 5.73, it's going to give him some bonus points, but will it be enough? We'll find out shortly. On track, though, Michelle Davies, Pro Logistics, coming forward. She's actually got a solo pass as we go to our camera down the bottom end with Zappia. There's a lot of people around the front of that car. Hopefully there's no damage there to the engine.
We can see fluid on the ground, so I would say that's not a good sign. Some of the Fuchs isn't where it's supposed to be for that car.
Back on track though, Michelle Davies, she is on a solo pass here. The reason Mark Hinchwood has not been able to make it this round of racing with that engine damage he got in round 1. So Davies will get the free solo pass here to see what she can do. We'll get 20 points in the bag. That's all about that ET now. Oh, that didn't go anywhere. It got up on the 2-step and then the car went to launch and hasn't gone. I wouldn't be surprised if the blower belt has actually come off that car.
Something's gone wrong, that's for sure, because that's never part of the plan. But guess what? It's still 20 win points because there's no one in the other lane.
Well, just look at the front underneath the hat there. You saw the blower belt actually just come off the car. So these cars now with the 2-steps are so aggressive. The belts only last 2 or 3 passes. So, and that's one of the weak points at the moment for them.
Yeah, the drive belt for the supercharger. If it comes off, then there's no boost and the engine just literally won't run. Well, poor Hyatt. He's got a target in front of him now. He needs a win. He's up against Jeff Gradden again. That's just the way the pairings happen to roll. And Hyatt has already seen Ben Bray run a 5.73. He knows he needs a win, and he needs to run quicker than Ben's 5.73 to put Ben out of the equation as far as taking a spot away from him.
And trying to take him out of the equation will be Jeff Gradden. Now, it is a rematch of round 1. Gradden was not scared to chop that tree. He had to go for it. So he did go red, but that'll be in the back of the Hyatt's mind because he went 5.84 with the red light. So you know Gradden is not scared to take this race to Paul Hyatt at all.
Yeah, well, Hyatt, if Jeff had jagged the Triple O, that was going to be a very close race because he's a little slower than Hyatt, but not slow enough that a whole shot can't make the difference. What are we talking about, a whole shot? A better start line reaction. Having your front wheels leave the start line beam closer to when the green comes on than your opponent. Paul Hyatt, Moitz, Komatsu, Mack Trucks, he's the defending champ, wants a win light and he wants to run quicker than Ben's 5.73. He'd like to run 5.60 something. The win's definitely with Hyatt, and he does run 5.69, 412 kilometres an hour. Massive speed there, Mark.
Yeah, big speed. I was looking at the lane of Gradden. It looks like he might have hesitated. You can see the car start to move forward just before the lights came down, but it was all Hyatt on this run as we watch the back here of Gradden's car. He wheels up, got a little bit of tyre shake there. He had to button it off, but 5.69, that would have been very, very tough to beat.
Absolutely, guys. Down here with Skip from the Moitz team, mate. So 5.69, that currently gives you low ET, and you're only the second car into the 60s this weekend, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're pumped. That's exactly what we were looking for, those kind of numbers. There's still a couple of quick guys to come out, but big shout out to Moitz, Mack, Komatsu. We're hopefully into the final with,
Not yet.
Not yet, but we'll see.
Paul Hyatt, you've got yourself another round win. How fantastic is that? You've got down to 5.69, so you might be in there with a low ET.
Yeah, look, we've got a couple of big hitters coming, so fingers crossed, but my crew killed themselves. We stepped it up this round, and like I said, fingers crossed, hopefully we get to the other end.
Well, good luck, and hopefully you go through to the final.
We'll try, thank you.
And it's the final that's on everybody's mind as Victor Bray comes forward to take on Stephen Ham. As it stands at the moment, the two that are there are Paul Hyatt and Ben Bray. And this is where Victor could do his son a huge favour, because if he can beat Stephen Ham in the Fuso Camaro, that takes Ham out of the final equation. So it's wide open, and that's what we've been loving about Pro Slammer. It's not only that we've had different winners at every event, but it's wide open as to even who makes the final each event.
And that's the pressure these drivers face as well, with the bonus points, the low ETs and all that. So Stephen Ham here, his maths are simple. Get the win, go quicker than Paul Hyatt's 569. He pretty much gets guaranteed a spot in the final.
Correct. That's what he's got to do. But Victor Bray for Gulf West Oil, what he has to do is try and give his son a chance of making it into that championship final. And the car looked quick enough.
And he is killer. As I said in first round of racing, Victor is probably one of the top two drivers at the moment, reaction time wise, of this Pro Slammer field, and how sharp he has been on that tree. So Stephen Ham needs to think about that as well. Victor would have ran in the 580s first round. If he got to the finish line, there's issues for Victor. Ham over towards the wall. He gets the win. He goes 5.70 at 407 kilometers per hour. So that's one part of the equation done and dusted there. Benny gets knocked out of the final. Ham is now in the preliminary final with Paul Hyatt, but we've still got one more pairing to go.
Have a look at this. Victor Bray with a problem with the Chevy, and it looked like almost a replay of the Michelle Davies thing. It just didn't make any power after the clutch was, well, after the car was launched. No clutch in that one anymore. But you see Ham streak away, and he did what he needed to do in the fact that he was quicker than Ben Bray, but he wasn't quicker than Hyatt, and that wheel stand might have made the difference. So Hyatt and Ham are now on equal points.
Down here with Stuart Rowland. This three-round format keeps throwing up all sorts of curly ones. At the moment, we think that you guys and Paul Hyatt are tied on points. It's all going to come down to what happens with Sam Fenck and Emilio Spinosi in this next round. It's definitely good for the fans, isn't it? Not so good for the crew chiefs.
Yeah, pretty nerve-wracking stuff there. Big wild ride there. You know, he didn't lift. He'd normally shut it off in that situation, but you got to win. You got to go fast. You know, it makes it very, very difficult to win. So yeah, good deal.
Is that what you were shooting for, a 70, or were you hoping for a bit more?
No, that was a 68 tune up there. The weather was there. That was weak. It shook because it was weak. We needed more power early. Simple as that.
Well, mate, congratulations. Fingers crossed for you guys that you do make it through to the final.
That's it. It'll be big fingers crossed. Sam's car's been flying this weekend. Mark's doing a fantastic job. Very, very hard to beat. Yep.
Matt Kavanagh's at the top end of the racetrack.
Yeah, I'm here with Stephen Ham, who had a wild ride down there. Still with the 570, you got to be pretty happy.
I think we lost a fair bit of ET on that one because it was hanging its tail out in low gear, but hey, a win's a win. I don't know what I got on the tree, but once I was out of low gear, she was on her way, but it was a wild ride up until then, that's for sure.
Well, hold your breath and we'll see if you're going through to the final.
Fingers crossed, mate, we need to.
Emilio Spinosi in the Speedmaster car. And he is up against this man, Sam Fenck, for Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions. Now, the scenario, Paul Hyatt is in the final because even though Ham and Hyatt are equal in points, Hyatt had the quicker elapsed time in the second round. That's the tie break. So Hyatt's in the final. He will be racing either Stephen Ham or Sam Fenck. It depends whether Fenck wins this race, and if he runs quicker than Ham, job done.
That's the equation here in this last pairing for round 2 of Pro Slammer. Sam Fenck on screen. This car has been a bracket car so far today. 566 in testing, 566 in round 1 of racing. What has he got here against Spinosi? Spinosi still looking for that first 5-second pass. These guys have been getting consistent round wins based on consistency out of this thing. That's what Fenck has got beside him as he moves forward. If he runs quicker than a 5.70 Stephen Ham and gets the win, he's in the final against Hyatt. We're going to find out in about 5 seconds' time.
Fenck has not won a Pro Slammer event yet. Could this be his night? Fenck is going to the final with low ET, a 565, 412. They're partying. There's Paul Hyatt already back on the start line. He knows who he's going to be running. And Spinosi, they're happy too.
They got their first 5-second pass as well. You won't see a happier team losing at the moment because they've just run their first ever 5 as well. Have a look at the replay. It's happy crews, both sides of the racetrack. Fenck goes through to the final. He will take on Paul Hyatt. Can he make it 4 drivers with 4 event victories in Pro Slammer?
How fast is Fenck? He made Spinosi's first 5 look slow. I mean, it was a monster of a run for Fenck. He is going to be tough in that final.
He is like, 66, 66, 65 today so far from Sam Fenck. That thing is absolutely tearing this track up.
Well, he's down there with Matt Kavanagh.
Sam Fenck, you're going through to the final and you get low ET of the event.
That's fantastic, mate. This car's flying. The Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions Camaro. It's just doing everything we're asking to do. Mark Savage, all my crew, all the boys back in the pit area there. Got a whole bunch of people to thank. Atlantic Oils, Two-Way Cranes, Art Group, ITF, Broadband Solutions, JSS Racing. We're going to the final.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's amazing how success attracts the sponsors, and those guys are doing a great job for them, that is for sure. There's Emilio Spinosi celebrating his first 5-second pass. Sam Fenck, maximum points, 56. There we have Hyatt and Ham both on 53, but it'll be Hyatt to go to the final. And what about Ben Bray? Great performance for him as well on 50 points. Those guys, that's going to shake up the whole championship points table when we see it at the end of the show.
And we see the team of Spinosi there still celebrating. They've got to get back to the pits because right after this ad break we will have round 3 of Pro Slammer and the final. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Sydney Dragway for the Santo Summer Thunder. Since round 2 of Pro Slammer, this is what's happened. Very light mist of rain started to fall, but it was enough to put a halt to the racing temporarily. So we ended up with about a 2-hour break. Guess what? Ben Bray decided it was a perfect opportunity to bring out his Gulf Western Oil Corvette burnout car and do a bit of a skid in the burnout pad for the fans that were very patiently waiting because they knew that we had a whole stack of great finals to run. You got to say, when Ben gets out there on the burnout pad, he enjoys himself.
Okay, round 3 of Pro Slammer. We have got Victor Bray to take on Mark Hinshelwood here in the opening pairing.
Hinshelwood, of course, having done an engine change on that car between the first round and this round 3. They had to skip round 2. Victor Bray with his own problems in round 2. The car really went nowhere off the start line, but both cars sounded nice and strong in the burnout.
That they did. And a really cool story about Mark Hinshelwood. Sitting in the middle of his office is a Conrod signed by Victor Bray, which he got 20 years ago as a bit of a younger fella with a dream wanting to race in Slammer one day. And the message from Victor, I'll see you on the start line one day.
And here he is, racing against the man that he looked up to and idolised 20 years ago. He will be delighted to have finally made good on that. He is seeing Victor Bray on the start line, but he won't be in awe. We know Mark, he's going to go at this.
He will. This is only his 3rd event in Pro Slammer, so he is still a rookie when it comes to the Pro Slammer. Sedan racing. Victor Bray has probably done about 15,000 more passes than Mark Hinshelwood on track.
Now, Mark, we've had rain, 2-hour delay. Most of the crowd have gone, but how good is the track? Is it going to hold it? Are the conditions different? There's a lot of curveballs for the crew chiefs, isn't there?
That's the big question right here. The first pairing will tell us how the track is. We'll stand from Hinshelwood, so it's got a bit of bite. Victor streaking away. He gets the win, goes 5.90, 396 kilometres per hour. Mark Hinchelwood with the 6.18 in the lane beside him. He gets the loose points here in this round, but the wheel stand from Hinchelwood, it bit hard. It was up in the air. You can see the wheels going up, comes back down.
Both cars got up and down.
Yeah.
I think both had a bit of a pedal. They got on and off the throttle, and Victor still ran a 5.90 with a pedal. That's not a bad effort.
And
have a look at this.
Tells me the track's got a bit of bite. You can see Hinchelwood actually getting out there on Victor. As you see Victor streak away there. Still old school, shifting himself there, pushing the buttons down, going down track. He gets the win and the win points here in round 3. And we've got Victor with Matt in the braking area.
Yeah, we're down here with Victor Bray. You get yourself a round 3 win, some valuable points to the championship, and another 5-second pass.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, no, the car's starting to go really well now. We've been working hard on it. It's got a bit of it's got a swing arm rear ending, which is a bit of, some people say antiquated, but I really like it, type of rear suspension. But we're finding out what it likes, what it doesn't like, and I think we find a lot of likes lately. So we've had we've put a lot more performance into the engines this weekend, and starting to pay off. The rest of the teams are really, really stepping up. So we're going to follow them through and try and get in front of them.
We'll let you down the start line, see how Benny goes.
Thanks, mate.
Well, Michelle Davies is burning out. She is going to be running against Emilio Spinosi, but 2 guys we won't be seeing in this round of racing, Jeff Gradden and John Zappia, both have got damage and can't make this round. Now that is going to make John Zappia slide even further down the points ladder.
Yeah, that's big championship implications wise. Paul Mahate, that team will probably be a little bit happy about it, but yeah, that's big in the championship. But this race here in front of us, Michelle Davies taking on Emilio Spinosi, is anyone's race here. We know Michelle Davies has run a best of a 5.92 in this car. We've seen Spinosi run into the 5-second zone for the very first time in round 2 of racing here, so I think this race is just a really even matchup.
Be great to see a side-by-side 5 from these two, because it took them both a little while to get in there, but once you kick the door down, it just stays open normally. You've cracked the secret. So Michelle Davies for Davies Earthworks, and of course Pro Logistic, and Emilio Spinosi for Speedmaster and Hitachi. Ford versus Chevy. Oh, Davies is loose, Spinosi's loose. He has another crack at the throttle, gets loose again. But in a pedal fest, he's going to roll across the line, and he has won so many championship points with slow ETs, and he's just grabbed another 20.
That's it. He gets a win here. That's his first win for this event as well of the day. As we watch the replay, both cars, you can see the tyre shake marks there for Davies almost instantly. Spinosi got out a little bit further before he had to pedal, so he had a bit more speed up his sleeve. He got back on it. She was a bit of a bucking bull there for him, but he rolls through for the win.
So Spinosi, another 20 championship points, Matt Kavanagh. You can't hold him back.
Yeah, Emilio, you get yourself a win. Probably not the way you wanted to, but you've got to take the success out of this weekend. You got your first 5-second pass.
Yeah, look, the highlight of the weekend was definitely our first 5. The boys have been working extremely hard. Definitely was a highlight of our weekend. We went out, I don't know, probably about, would have been probably about 200 feet, and it shook and got out of shape. So, unfortunately, I must have been the same with Michelle, I guess.
Look at that burnout from Ben Bray. He is up against this guy, Stephen Ham, who was just unlucky to have missed the championship final by, I think, 100th or 2.
Yeah, only 100th of a second for Stephen Ham from making that final hit this evening. But in this race here, both these guys have got 2 wins. Stephen Ham will be wanting another win to obviously make sure that Fenck and Mahoya don't extend the lead on him as much as they can in the final. So Benny Bray, 5.73 in round 2 of racing. Stephen Ham went 5.70. It's only 300ths of a second separating the 2 cars.
Ben Bray is already well up in the championship order, and I think this has been a very good weekend for he and the Gulf Western Oil team. Steve Ham, the Fuso Brisbane Camaro, and I just think he's just so unlucky not to have had a crack at the trophy tonight.
Exactly, he went 5.70 rounds 1 and 2 of Racing Pro Slammer, got the wins, and still did not make the final. How tough is Pro Slammer at the moment?
Very late at night here at Sydney Dragway, the Santo's Summer Thunder, round 3 in Pro Slammer. Ben Bray with some drama. 568, 410 kilometres an hour. Steve Ham just left it that round 2 late.
Where was that 2 hours ago? Would have been in the final, but have a look at Benny Bray. He launched hard, wheels up. Obviously, when the wheel's in the air, you can't steer, and he was going towards that centre line. He had to back off. Stephen Ham, though, this thing, watch out the next round of Pro Slammer. It is consistent, it is quick. He gets his driving right. He will be in more finals than none.
Oh, Ben Bray, what a wheel stand. But Steve Ham, you can't take it away from the Fuso Brisbane car. He has done the job. He's picked up 60 points plus some ET points through the night, so he's well and truly placed in the championship, Matt.
Yeah, quickly, Danny, with Stephen Ham. You said you had a 68 in the tune last time. You went around and ran a 68 in this round.
Oh, I'm glad we got, to run a 68. It's a bit of a shame we left it till last. We were just behind Paul, 0.011 or something to make the final. Better luck next time, mate.
Yes, it could have very easily been a Ham versus Fenck final, but not to be this time. Paul Hyatt from Moitz, Komatsu and Mack Trucks in the Mustang. He's fought his way there, trying to be the first 2-time winner for the season. So far, we've had 3 rounds, 3 different winners, Mark.
And Sam Fenck will be looking for his first ever victory in Pro Slammer here in the final. You got to say, Sam's probably the favourite here in the final. This car is living in the 560 zone. Hyatt's been probably 400-500s behind Fenck so far today, but anything can happen in Pro Slammer.
Camaro versus Mustang, the good old Chev versus Ford confrontation. 2 Sydney-based teams, and of course Sam Fenck running for Lloyd's Classic Car Auctions really has stepped up the act since the sponsorship has gone on to the side of that car.
Yeah, they're on a bit of a streak at the moment. They didn't lose a round of racing up at Willowbank Raceway. Continued that form here at Sydney Dragway. In the final, on board with Fenck, moving this car into stage.
We can see the 5-speed transmission there just beside him. These guys have been so evenly matched, but I think I'm with you. I think Fennick's just got a little bit of a shade of performance. Oh, Hyatt's in trouble. It will be Sam Fenck for the win. A 566. No shoots. He's in a bit of trouble here. Into the gravel trap. Not the way you want to see it finish in Pro Slammer. Sam Fenck has gone into the gravel trap. His parachutes came out, but look to have tangled, Mark.
Yeah, just look in the replay here. Sam Fenck, he gets the win, but then gets into trouble in the braking area with no parachutes. The cars leave side by side, but all eyes on Sam Fenck here as it goes across the finish line. You see no chutes come out. He's hard on the brakes trying to pull this car up at 400 kilometers per hour, but something obviously has happened there to the car.
Without the parachutes, these cars are incredibly hard to stop, even with their carbon fibre brakes. Let's ride along with Sam Fenck. Goes for the parachute at 410. He's covering 150 metres a second into the sand, into the net. That's what pulls him up. The car's going to be worse for wear, but we're already hearing Sam's walked out of the car himself, walked to the ambulance and is being checked over at the moment, complaining of a sore elbow. These cars are just so strong. Well, Paul Hyatt with a runner-up. He's hung on to his championship lead, 355 points. Fenck with his first ever win, but it looks to have cost him a race car, 330. John Zappia, Ben Bray, Steve Ham, they wrap up the top 5. Well, next time we'll join you will be with the Santo Super Thunder from Willowbank Raceway. We got Top Fuel, Top Bike, Pro Alcohol, Pro Stock and 400 Thunder Sportsman Racing. It's all April 19 up there at Willowbank. Then we return to Sydney Dragway for the Gulf Western Oil Nitro Thunder, May 3rd and 4th, and we've got all of the 400 Thunder professional categories and the Sportsman to boot. Then it's the big one, the grand finale, the Gulf Western Oil Winter Nationals, 4 days of mayhem at Willowbank Raceway, 6th to 9th of June. We're going to bring it all to you right here. Well, the weather did all it could to stop us here at the Santo Summer Thunder. Heat, rain, we had the lot, but guess what? We made it through. Make sure you invite us back into your lounge room when we bring you all of the coverage of the Santo Super Thunder from Willowbank Raceway.
Coming up after the break, we head to Methamus in southern France for the 7th and penultimate round of the 2018 FIM Enduro GP World Championship.